Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast. Peekaboo. I see you. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2023. The album, Dad F. I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Beast. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby. Kiss me deadly. Let's get into this video today. Yes, it is a 2 for Friday. If you didn't watch my previous video about Jeffree Star, go watch it. There's a lot that I talked about over there. Woo! There's a lot going on in the world of Jeffree Star right now, but this is my second video for the day. Now, I know that I don't edit my videos, okay? That being said, people always criticize me. They're like, you don't even edit your videos. I'm like, okay, listen. You sit on camera. You give me the YouTuber that can sit on camera for 30 minutes, one shot, no edit, okay? So when you're criticizing me for no editing because somebody sits there for 8 days in a row and does all these jump cuts so it's like this and edits out, you give me the YouTuber that can sit on video for 30 minutes and just talk nonstop. Hold on a second, okay? Not one channel, not 2 channels, not 3 channels, not 4 channels, not 5 channels, but 6 channels, okay? Hold on. Spirit fingers. And sometimes, not all 6 channels on one day, but sometimes 2 videos on one channel in one day, and that's what you get today. But I don't edit, but I do change my costumes du jour, so hold on a second. Let me pull down my shirt so y'all don't see all that, because that's not so pretty, is it? Let's go over here. Let's get changed up here now. Woo! Okay. Put on a little touch of luminous spray on my face. Woo! Look at that natural glow. So pretty. Put my hat back on. Look at that. Movie star. Don't even worry about it. Okay. And then put a little bit of Manny MUA's Lunar Beauty on. Just like that. Oh, and I forgot my cologne. Spray a little Creed on, and I am set. There you go. Magic of editing. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Are you having a good day? I am having the most fantastic day in the entire world. Except that I got stuck at the bank because I have millions of dollars. Just millions and millions. I'm rolling in it, driving Bentleys these days. Anyway, I have millions and millions of dollars that I have to deposit to the bank on a daily. No, that's not it at all. But I was rolling through the bank, see? And I'm real good duties with the people that work at the bank, okay? Just like woo, that cologne smells so good. I love that cologne. Anyway, just like I'm real good duties with the people that work at Starbucks. See, the baristas, they're like my best friends in life. I have 2 friends, and then I have my good duties. Okay, that work at that are baristas at Starbucks and work at the bank and, you know, the Thorntons and all that kind of stuff, and the Walmart and the Meijer. Those people are all my good duties, and they don't really know it, but they are. But it's one woman that works at the bank, okay? She's so funny, and she watches my videos. Oh my God, she watches my videos. It makes me so nervous. So I was just minding my own business, waiting behind this car that had literally been there for 20 minutes, okay? And yes, I was doing the most perfect rendition of Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing that you have ever heard in your entire life, okay? With the hand motions and everything, and the da-da, da-da, and all of that. Yes, I was doing it in my car, okay? I think the people in front of me thought that I was talking to them, but I wasn't. Da-da, da-da. I love that song so much. Have you ever seen The Bodyguard? The Bodyguard might be one of the best movies on the face of the earth. Anyway, so she was watching me from the window and she was cracking up. And so I literally had to wait in line. They went back and forth and did all these transactions forever. And I got up to I got up to the line or to the drive-thru. All I had to do was deposit some cash, right? And I got up there and she goes, I felt so bad that you were waiting so long. I said, listen, I said, I have a mask for her. I said, that was an inside transaction. So anyway, I mean, it was like 20 minutes. I had to wait so long. I was getting ready to do a rant video about it. Na-na, na-na, take my love. I love Whitney Houston so much. Anyway, no. We try to do as much business as we can and drive-through as we can these days, don't we? And I think it's so fantastic that banks are open and things like that. So thank you to all of you out there in service positions. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Okay. let's get into the drama. I had another thing. Oh, I had one more thing I was going to tell you. Do you guys know that song I think it's by Dawson, and it's called, She's One in a Million. They play it at pageants, I know, because I judge pageants. If you didn't know that, on the side, I judge beauty pageants. Don't judge. Don't judge me, because I'll judge you quickly, okay? Because I love a good beauty pageant. I don't even call them scholarship pageants. Listen, they're beauty pageants, and I love them, okay? But anyway, they always play that song, She's One in a Million. I think it was in that Miss Congeniality or whatever. So, I'm like having to drive, like, I was driving down this side road, and they were taking down this tree, and so they had one of those guys that was going like this, do you know what I'm saying? And he was just letting through like 30 cars, and I was in the line of like 30 cars, and I came up to the cars that had to wait, and they were so bitter, and I'm in such a good mood, and I'm like listening to that One in a Million song. And so when I passed them by, very kindly, I looked at each car and I said, not you, not you, not you, not you, but I'm one in a million. Anyway, and I felt like a beauty pageant winner. Listen, don't nobody want to be Miss Congeniality, and you sure as hell don't want to be first runner-up, okay? First runner-up is loser, and we all know it, okay? We've been nice because you've competed for 4 years. That's what it is, okay? That's just what it is. Anyway. I'm totally joking, but I do love beauty pageants, that is no lie. Okay, let's get into today's video because I have so much drama at 6 minutes and 24 seconds. I have, oh Lord, oh my Lord, I brought up the wrong drama. Well, it doesn't really matter. I brought the Jeffree Star notes. I got my other notes over there. Let's get into this. First of all, let's talk about Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau got herself in a little bit of trouble. She put out a tweet basically telling people that if you voted for Joe Biden, that she would send you a nude or something like that. If you showed proof that you voted, I think it was for Joe Biden, that she would send you a nude selfie or something like that, right? Okay. Well, apparently this is allegedly illegal, okay? You cannot basically buy people's votes or do giveaways. Now, okay, I've been reading all these threads and I've been reading all these articles linked on Twitter, and I think you can like do giveaways to get people to register for voting, but you can't. I could be completely wrong. I just read like 3 articles and they all said different things, so y'all educate me in the below. But she couldn't do what she was doing basically, so she took down that tweet, okay? David Dobrik is supposedly doing something very similar where he is giving away a Tesla for people to register to vote. So I don't know if that's illegal or not. I don't know, but she took it down, okay? So I was over there and I was watching because she's gotten herself into all of that drama, and then she put up this video, and listen, okay, unless I really have to and there's something very, very important in it, I just do not have it in me anymore to stomach watching a Tana Mongeau video. I just don't, okay? Every time I watch a Tana Mongeau video, I lose 10 brain cells. Is that you, God, speaking? I swear to God. That girl has been touched by the grace of God. She gets out of every scandal she's ever been in, and I think God just put that in my mouth and made me cough. Anyway, but I can't. Every time I watch her video, and it was some video, like, she had posted apology videos that she said she was going to post. Colin Berry's not happy with her apology video, which I may make that video someday. All this kind of stuff, it's just too much. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Tana Mongeau does not care about people, okay? I don't even believe that she cares about her close friends, and her developmental maturity is about the level of a 12-year-old, and I'm going to tell you this in just a second, okay? The girl's 23 years old. Now, I have friends of mine that are 23-year-olds that own their own businesses, that are working on PhD programs. I have 23-year-old friends of mine that have 3 and 4 kids and have been married for several years and own homes and take care of their own homes. I have friends of mine that are 23 and 24 and 22 years old that have been living very mature lives for a much longer than Tana Mongeau has. She has people around her that she could be doing much better than she is, and she continues to act like this. Hold on, let me read you a tweet. Okay, I'm laughing so hard. Oh, wait. At Starbucks, they always write broke on my cup. I'm like, you can tell, Brooke just now. What? That is such something that like 2 12-year-olds would say to each other, okay? And this is where Tana Mongeau lives, in this like microcosm of this world where it's just her and her friends, and they just sit around and think each other's jokes are so funny. And then she says, also Hunter just now, when I was a kid, my friends always played a game called Jump. It was like hide and seek, but when we found someone, we would just jump them. No wonder, it sounds like a really fun game. No wonder he started making sure your friends are okay. Okay, I'm laughing so hard, but should I not be? No, you shouldn't be. It's stupid. This is what you and your friends sit around and talk about? I'm really happy I'm not your friend, Tana, because that is boring, okay? If that's what marijuana does to your life, okay? No offense to those about you that choose to smoke the Mary Jane, but I'm glad I gave it up 25 and a half years ago, okay? Because I might just be sitting around texting things out like, my good Jeannie, Tanya Jean just farted. And what is that, okay? It's silly. It's stupid. And people think so too. Let me tell you where her followers are at on this, okay? Now, mind you, Tana Mongeau has currently on Twitter 2.4 million followers. Let's see how many people liked or commented on these tweets about her and her dear friends that has gotten her to the top. On her Brooke comment, she got 27 comments and 142 retweets. Not a lot compared to what Tana gets. On her, okay, I'm laughing so hard, but should I not be? She got 1,184 likes, which isn't a lot for Tana. 10 retweets and 10 comments. Like, she has 29 comments on the next one about Hunter. This girl is not getting comments, you guys, at all on her tweets. And I couldn't even believe it. And I was like going through here and I was like, well, she hardly ever tweets anymore, first of all. Second of all, she's like not really getting any tweets unless she posts about Paris Hilton, Noah Cyrus, or Jake Paul. If she posts about Jake Paul, she gets a lot of comments and likes on her tweet. So I don't know. This might be the beginning of the end for Tana Mongeau. I said that about Jeffree Star, and people were like, oh my God, you said it about Jeffree Star. And it seems like it might be coming true. Let's see Tana Mongeau's video. Let's see how it's doing. Tana Mongeau. All right, let's go here. 10 things Tana Mongeau can't live without. A day ago, 436,000 views. Her last video was 4 weeks ago. Her long overdue apology, 1.7 million views. Trying every single viral TikTok beauty, 3 million views. Shooting a YouTube video with, 1.2 million views. I mean, she's not getting the same views that she used to get, unless it's going to take her days to get it. I don't know. I'm starting to think this might be the beginning of the end. I think people are just bored with Tana. They're bored with the antics, and the friends aren't that exciting. And it's like, the thing I've said all along, these people are aging out. When I started talking about Tana, that was 4 years ago. She was 19, 20. She's 23 now. The people that were following her 4 years ago, they're not. And as she gets older and older and older, people are going to be like, okay, this is coming out of a 30-year-old's mouth. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, I think people will not be as interested as they were before. I think this is what has killed a lot of YouTube channels. I've talked about this with Tyler Oakley. Tyler Oakley, God love it. I love Tyler Oakley's content for a long time, and I still really do like Tyler Oakley. He seems like a really nice guy, and he tries so hard and stuff like that. He actually even addressed his channel. Like, he did this Q&A, and it was, like, very honest. It was, like, he talked about, like, some really honest stuff on there, and I really liked it. But he talked about his channel, like, not getting the views that he used to get and whatever. And I'm like, well, I mean, gal, it might be because you're getting high and trying on wigs, and that's your video, Like, I mean, 10 years ago, it wasn't, but your group has also aged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure, like, a certain percentage of them are trying wigs on while they're high and sitting around with their friends, but probably not the majority of them. And not to mention, this is your second, not your first, trying on wigs high video, okay? I should look at that video and see how many views it got now that I'm sitting here critiquing it. But I think that, like, with Tyler Oakley, I think if he had taken people along with the journey and shown him, like, like, new apartment and my friends and what I'm doing and why I chose to move here and why I chose to move there and, setting up a podcast, I think more people would have been interested in that than the process of writing a book or whatever, Okay, hold on a second. Social media is stalking you, 32,000 views. Who would win in a fight? Me versus cartoons, queer cartoons, 27,000 views. I get more views than he does. Trying on wigs while high, though it got 66,000 views. It's not bad. Answering questions I've always avoided, 322,000 views. And that was actually probably one of his best videos I've ever seen by him. And then he's got a bunch of other videos on here. So, I mean, he gets between, like, I would say 40 and 200,000 views, depending on the video. So, anyway. But, like, I think you have to take your audience with you. And you have to, like, allow them to grow up with you. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is about James Charles. And I got to get my notes, so hold that back, and I'll be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. I couldn't do this video without the notes on James Charles, because I watched this video, which is where they hook him up to a lie detector test and they ask him all these questions. Now, I have to tell you, I actually really liked this video. I've seen other people do this. It's not an original idea. But it was really a cute video, and his friends were sitting around, and the guy at the end says that James Charles is an honest person, he says, and they actually asked him some stuff that I thought was kind of like, ooh, I can't believe that he's actually answering these questions on video. You know, like, it's interesting to me that James knows that his audience is so young, and he really chooses to talk about some rather mature subject matter on his videos. I don't know, it's very interesting to me. Like, we're going to talk about the Ryland thing in just a second, but like, when I was watching, I just am like, am I the only, like I was saying to my friend Tana the other day, I said, I don't know, maybe I come across as a prude to people, but like I was always raised that there are certain things that you just keep between you and your partner, or you just don't share with the world, or I don't know, like, and I don't remember, to be honest with you, talking about like, just being that openly crass when I was their age. Maybe it's a different generation. I don't know. Maybe I'm too traditional. I don't know what it is, okay? But there are some things that for me, like, it's like my cringe meter goes, Like when I was watching Ryland's video about his podcast, which we're going to talk about in just a second, he was talking about how, like, he sends videos of himself urinating in a toilet to Shane, and that like Shane never responds. No, gal, I wouldn't either, okay? And I don't know what y'all are into in your bedroom, and that's between the two of you, but like, why are you sharing that on a podcast? Like, that's weird, okay? Like, that made me, well, first of all, I don't plan on listening to any more Ryland Adams podcast, because I just don't think he's that entertaining to me. That's just my 2 cents, okay? But like, when I heard that, I was like, if this is what I'm in store for, you share, and that was not the only thing. I mean, there was a lot in there that I just was like, I don't know, like, and I know everybody in the world that's shock value and let's share all this kind of stuff. But I just thought, like, in that podcast, on the heels of everything that has just gone on with, like, Shane and everything, there were a lot of kind of, like, jokes that could be weirdly interpreted. Did anybody else think that about the podcast? We'll talk about it in just a second. But anyway, so James comes on this, does this lie detector test, and the first thing they ask him right out of the gate is, did you knowingly copy Teddy Fresh's merch? And he said no, and they said that that was true. That the lie detector guy said that that was true, that he didn't know anything about it. And that was literally, they just went right on to the next thing. Then they ask him, I'm just telling you the ones that I thought were interesting. Go watch the video. It's a really cute video, actually. And you could have watched it on 2 times speed like I did. But anyway, did they ask him if there were any TikToker, did he think that TikTokers deserved their hype? And he tried to kind of get out of the question, and then he said, no. No, he said yes, and they said that he was lying, I think is what they said. That was kind of funny. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to comment about the James Charles video was when they ask him, do you think your palette is the best? And he says no, and they say that it's a lie, right? The guy says that it's a lie. And I was like, oh my God, I live that James Charles got called out for this, right? And he's like, well, better, best, like, you know, there's a lot, and he goes in there and all this kind of stuff. They also asked him this question that was interesting about, like, have you ever collabed with somebody whose, like, makeup isn't that good or something like that? And he said no, and then I think it said he was lying, and he's like, oh, wait a second. He goes, you mean afterwards? Or no, it was like, have you ever collabed with somebody that you didn't like at the time? And he said no, and then he goes, well, afterwards, yeah, obviously. Who do you think he was talking about? I wonder. Anyway, so that was very, very interesting. Okay, let's talk about this. So that was all that. He addressed the Teddy Fresh stuff and, you know, whatever. All right, let's get into this Ryland Adams podcast and Shane Dawson making an appearance on Instagram and all this kind of stuff. Okay. So, first of all, I just want to say that I would never belittle anybody's dreams, and I know that this has been Ryland's dream for a very long time. So, congratulations, Ryland, to accomplishing your dream. I think that's fantastic. And I think as, you know, a role model to anybody out there, you know, if there's something that you really want to do with your life, go for it. I always tell people that, you know. No matter how big or how small, you know, go after that dream. Go for it. You know, do little things every single day, you know, like put one foot in front of the other, and you will one day hopefully accomplish your dreams. And if you don't, then you've had an amazing journey along the way. And once you have accomplished that dream, you know, like Oprah says, dream a bigger dream. And I'm a big, big, big believer in that. You got to keep on going higher and higher and higher, you know. So I watched the video of Ryland's podcast, and, you know, here's the thing, okay? I think that Ryland is very smart when it comes to business. I am not impressed upon the fact that who we see on video is who he actually is. I think he is much more catty behind the scenes. I think that he is probably pretty manipulative, like Shane is as well, is what my feeling is, just from the recent interactions and everything. The podcast, I think, is very nice. It seems like two friends sitting down there talking. It is what it is. Like, will I listen to another one? No, not unless there's like tea in it that I need to listen to it for. Listen to it to find out what he talked about in there. But, other than that, I don't really care. I'm not somebody that finds Ryland Adams. People get so mad when I say this, okay? But do what you want with it. Ryland Adams literally shot to fame because he was dating Shane Dawson, okay? I am just not convinced that his channel, I can remember when he hit like 1 million subscribers and they were all excited. And I'm like, you're dating Shane Dawson, and Shane Dawson is literally at that time the golden boy of YouTube. Like, this was going to happen, right? And I can remember him doing like dressing up like Kylie Jenner, and I thought, this is just almost kind of awkward. It's not even funny to me. Like, not that, like dress up like whoever you want, but it's not funny to me. Like, his humor isn't funny to me. So would this be something that I would watch or listen to? No, probably not. But like, if you like it, go ahead and listen to it. I would never tell somebody not to listen to something. With true crime, because y'all know I have a true crime book club, we talk a lot about podcasts, and there are so many podcasts that people recommend to me, and I'm like, I just don't like, And listen, I'm a murderino, okay? I love my favorite murder. I am like obsessed, and I talk to people all the time that are like, oh, I just cannot get into it at all, and I'm like, well, that's you. So listen to what you want to listen to. I did think, like I said earlier, it was interesting to me that a lot of like the humor was just kind of like really, I don't know, kind of like this edgy, I don't know. Shane Dawson and Ryland must have a sense of humor that I just don't get. I'm just saying, okay? And some of the stuff that they were talking about, I just was like, and you're asking me to continue to tune into this because why? Like, I didn't understand it, Now, if you put a microphone between me and my good Judy Tanya, and you ask us to have a conversation for an hour, and many people have asked us to do a podcast before, what will we talk about? I don't know that it's two friends talking, you know what I mean? But I think that if you're going to go into a podcast, you're just going to sit down and just, shoot the SHI took. You're not going to talk, like, have any kind of plan or structure to what you're going to talk about in that episode. Like, I don't know, some memory from your childhood, or, what you think about some TV show or whatever. And I'm sure going forward, there will probably be more of a structure to it. It actually reminded me, speaking of Tyler Oakley, it reminded me a lot of Tyler Oakley and Corey Cole's Psychobabble. Except that theirs is funnier and cleaner. Their sense of humor is a little cleaner and funnier, honestly. I don't know. I'm just like I'm not somebody that like tell the grossest joke in the entire world and that will get the most laughs. Like, I don't believe that, For me, when I look at true humor, like true comedians in the world, like Carol Burnett is one of my favorites, absolute favorites, okay? She did some things that were a little edgy at the time, but not really, Like, my favorite comedians and from back in the day were not people that had like the edgiest jokes, They just were naturally hilarious. Lily Tomlin is a good example of that. Gilda Radner on Saturday Night Live, They were people that just were so naturally funny. It like oozed out of everything they did. You cannot teach that to somebody. And I'm not a person that believes that Ryland Adams is truly humorous. Do I think he's a good storyteller? Do I think that he is a good YouTube personality? Yes, I do. I think he has a great personality for YouTube. But I think him trying to be humorous is where it gets kind of like weird to me. Hey, over here. Listen. The most important person in the room is right here. My neighbor's dog is in the backyard. So anyway, let's get in and let's talk about Shane Dawson then getting on Instagram. I've got all the screenshots right here. So then Shane Dawson took to Instagram last night. Okay, I am not going to put all of these up. I will just read them. I'm getting through my old Jeffree Star things. Shane put up like 15 things. Okay, so this is what he said. Here it is. It starts like this. I wasn't planning on coming back to the internet for a while, but today is a special day for my best friend, and I want to be there for... Welcome to my world. The world of a YouTube. Hey, Miss YouTuber. Excuse me. Okay, the dogs just started barking like crazy, so let me get into reading these, okay? So he says, I wasn't planning on coming back to the internet. Here you go, you can see it's like this. I wasn't planning on coming back to the internet for a while, but today is a special day for my best friend, and I want to be there for him the way he has always been there for me. I have so much I want to say, and I promise in the future I will, but today I want to talk about Ryland. And then he goes on and he posts all these different pictures of he and Ryland. He's been my rock and my best friend since the day I met him. He's always been there for me and helped me be more kind to myself, which is something I've always struggled with. He let me do this to him, and it's like Ryland dressed up for a video or something. I'm so grateful to have him as my family and as my partner in life. When I met him, his dream in life was to have a talk show. I never met someone who was as passionate about their dreams as he was. It's a big part of what made me fall in love with him. I watched him work so hard to reach for those dreams. I watched him do what he was great at and what I believe he was born to do. I watched him grow and evolve as a person and become the strongest, most beautiful man I've ever met. Today he starts his next chapter, and it's a picture of the sip. Today he starts his next chapter and finally created the talk show he's always wanted to make. And so he like says in his post, Zibby. That would be actually a cute name, would be Zibby. Somebody should name their baby that out there. By the way, just thank you to all of you out there that changed your profile pictures on Twitter to me. I love that. Thank you. There's so many have done that since I mentioned it. Thank you. And his co-host Lizzie Gordon is incredible. He also told me not to do this and that he doesn't want me coming back to the internet until I'm ready. I told him there's nothing I'd rather do more than be there for him today. Hi, and then it's Shane. Hi, I probably won't be back for a while, but I just wanted to say hi and support my man. Hope you guys are having a good day. And then he posts and says swipe up, and that's it. So then it's my screenshot of the book of the month club because I'm trying to see which book of the month I want to pick. It's as simple as that. See, folks? Anyway, so what do you think about that? Shane coming back and commenting on Ryland's, new talk show. I think it's nice, I think the only thing I would say is that, like, I don't know, people are not gonna, I don't know, maybe people will disagree with me on this one, but I'm just gonna tell you how I feel in my heart, okay? I think there are times in life, especially when you're in a relationship, that you know that maybe it's your turn to stand back, and maybe you think through things like this. I saw a lot of negativity that Ryland was receiving as a result of Shane posting this. To me, if I were in Shane's position, okay, I don't know, Ryland already knew he felt that way because he said you don't have to post this today, so he already knew he was going to. I don't know who he was proving that to. I don't know if he was proving it to his followers. I don't know if he was proving it to himself. I don't know if he was proving it to, whatever. I mean, Shane's in the video, the podcast video. He shot the picture. He did this. You can hear him in the background, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just think, like, in that moment, maybe completely remove yourself from anything to do with Ryland and unless you can't absolutely do that. You don't need to show support in that moment. Personally, you can say, babe, I love you. But, like, if I come forward and say anything, I'm afraid that it might, like, shadow your positivity today. And, this is your day and I want this to be your day. I don't want to make it about me whatsoever. And kind of, like, I look at it and I'm like, you kind of made it about you, Shane. I mean, everybody in the world is talking about how Shane came back to Instagram. It takes the spotlight away from Ryland's podcast, a little bit. Or maybe it'll bring attention to his podcast and people will listen to it and watch the video. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know. There's just been times, in my relationship where I think my husband and I both know, like, maybe that's not the moment that one of us needs to step into the spotlight. It's the other person's moment, and you allow that for your partner. You allow them to have that moment alone because you love them, because you respect them, And like, this is not a time that maybe I need to say anything. I can just sit back and I can just be the proud husband back here and just not say a word. And he knows how much I love him. And if he doesn't, well, I've said it to him 15 times today, so he better. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comment section below. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye! They're going crazy! Bye!